stick it out till the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video I'll be teaching you guys how to cut and sew this trendy circle skirt that you can see on your screen. If this is what you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. So I already went ahead to fold my fabric. I'll be showing you guys how I folded my fabric on this pattern paper. I folded my fabric into two and then I picked one end and I folded it like this, like a triangle. Okay, so that is what I have on my work table. So just fold your fabric into two and then fold it over to get a triangular shape. My table is quite small, that is why I did not fold it on camera. So after folding, my fabric is folded into four. The same thing I have on the pattern paper is what I have on my fabric, just that my fabric is longer than the pattern paper. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to start placing my measurements, and I'll start with the waist measurement. So my waist circumference is 28 inches and I'm going to add 1 inch to that 28 inches. It's going to be 29 inches. So if you are adding zip to your skirt, make sure you add your zipper allowance of 1 inch. This 1 inch that I'm adding is going to be for my stitching allowance because my fabric is stretchy, so I don't need to add any zipper allowance to this skirt. So I'm going to divide this 29 inches by 4. I divided by 2, it gave me 14.5 inches. I'm dividing by another 2, and what I have here is 7¼ inch. So I'm going to place my tape like this to get the 7¼ inch. So like I said before, my fabric is stretchy, so if I cut on that 7¼ inch, what is going to give me after cutting is going to be more than my waist circumference. So I'm going to cut on 7 inches. So I'll place my tape like this and I'll rule out these 7 inches. So another way to get a more accurate waistline is to place your tape on the tip of this triangular shape, okay, and then pass your tape around. So I'm going to show you guys. Place your tape on this tip like this and mark out the 7 inches. You can see that the 7 inches is even shorter than the line that I have. Mark it all the way around. That way you are going to get a more accurate waist circumference or waist measurement. I hope that you understand. So the next thing I'm going to do is to determine the length of my skirt. The length, I'll be taking 32 inches, that is plus my hemming allowance. So I'll go ahead and place my tape on the waistline just like you see me doing, and I'm going to start marking my 32 inches all the way around. So make sure your tape is placed on the waistline, then keep passing it around just like you see me doing and marking your 32 inches or whatever your skirt length is. After marking all the way around, I'll go ahead and connect all the dots together in a circular form. So guys, I didn't mention earlier that I'm using 2 yards of crepe fabric for this tutorial. After folding my fabric the way I did, I realized that the one on top is shorter than the one on the down, and the length of my skirt is 32 inches. So once I mark to this side, is not enough for me to get the 32 inches. So I'll still go ahead and mark my 32 inches regardless. After cutting out, I'm going to join another piece of fabric on the base. So if your fabric is not long enough, it's okay, there is a way to join another piece of fabric, okay. So I'll just mark my 32 inches all the way around. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead and connect all these dots. After connecting the dots, I'll go ahead and cut, and then I'll show you guys how to join another piece of fabric just to complete the part that is short. So guys, I'm done cutting and this is what I have. The next thing I'll do is to cut out a small piece of fabric that I'll be joining to this short part. So this is my fabric. My fabric is folded into two. I'm going to place it underneath the one that is long, and I'm going to push about 1 inch underneath the one that is short. That is the allowance I'll use to join the one that is short to this particular one that I'm joining to it. I don't know if you understand my explanation. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it out like this. So my stitching allowance is underneath it. I just traced out what I have under. So I'm going to remove it and then I'll split it open because my fabric was folded into two. I'll bring it out and I'll split the sides. After doing that, I'm going to place the fabric. You can see once I place it, you can see that the two is now on the same length. So I'll just split the side open and I'm going to pin them right sides facing right sides. After pinning, I'll go ahead and sew. I'll also go ahead and arrange my fabric and I'll trim the waistline. After doing that, I'm going to open this fabric up for you guys to see. So this is our flace skirt. This is what it looks like. So guys, I've gone ahead to join the piece of fabric to the base and this is what they will look like. So the next thing I'll do is to cut out my band for the waist area of my skirt. So for the band, I want the band to be 2 inches wide. So I'm going to fold my fabric like this and I'm going to mark 2 inches all the way to the end. The length of this band is my waist circumference plus 1 inches, so the whole length of this band is 29 inches and the wideness is 2 inches for now. So I'm marking my 2 inches all the way to the end of this band. After doing that, I'm going to place the band on the waist area of my skirt and I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way around. So I'll advise that you pin. Okay, if you're a beginner, go ahead and pin your band first, pin it to the waist area and then go ahead and sew. After sewing, I'll come back and show you guys the next step. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew the band in place and this is what it looks like. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to fold it over like this just to cover the rough edges inside. So my band is going to be 1 inch wide, so I'll fold it over and I'll go ahead and sew all the way around. So guys, after sewing the band in place, this is what it looks like on the outside and on the inside. You can see that I've covered all the rough edges inside. So the last thing I'm going to do is to fold my skirt like this, right sides facing right sides. Like I said before, my fabric is stretchy. If yours is not stretchy, go ahead and add your zip to the back and then hem the base of your skirt. So since I'm not adding a zipper to this skirt, I'll just go ahead and fold it like this and I'll use my 1 inch stitching allowance to sew all the way to the end of the skirt and then I'll go ahead and hem the base of my skirt. And yeah guys, that is all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like, leave your questions in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one.